after the River Mocs got a win just a bit earlier against the Lynx, and they'll try and get revenge against the team that beat them 2-1 on opening night. Yes, the one in the loss column for the Squeeze came at the hands of the Pioneers, who enter in at 2-4. Losers of 4 their last 5, but they will try and get the offense going. It's ace against ace. Jenna Green versus Kayla Howald, and Green will start out in the circle for the Squeeze. Howald pitching for the Pioneers. Your designated home team, the Manatee Squeeze. The Pioneers coming to the plate now. Here is the order for the 2-4 Pioneers. Paris Woods will lead off out of Syracuse. Skylar Ball batting second. Megan Pierre from USF batting third. Taylor Gilmore in the cleanup spot. Grace Prom will bat fifth. Mackenzie Ball will bat sixth. Kayla Poston in the 7-hole. Jordan Petty, or Hulk as her head coach Erica Beach calls her, batting eighth. Kennedy Kroll batting ninth. And Olivia Doyle will try and turn it over in the 10 spot. And they will face in the circle Jenna Green out of Hamlet, North Carolina, freshman last year for Presbyterian. 3-time Big South Player of the Week as a freshman in 2020, where she went 13-2 and had a 1.24 ERA. So far this summer, an ERA of exactly 2, 14 innings pitched, 11 hits, 5 runs, 4 of those earned, 4 walks, and 20 strikeouts. She is a perfect 2-0. Spin ball pitcher, mixes it well, has a rise and change that's a combination that might be the best of any pitcher here. Her change is nasty. She can throw it in any part of the count. Fantastic rise to go along with that, and it really climbs the ladder. She got the victory against the River Mocs earlier this week. Complete game, gave up 6 hits, allowed 2 runs, both were earned, struck out 9, and walked 4. First time the Pioneers will see her in the circle. Defense behind Green. Cadleb in left. Alexis Johns in center. Jordan Wolf in right. Infield of Konselnick at third. Megan Ricks at short. Summer Baker at second. Nikki Cochran over at first. And behind the dish, Taylor Johnson. Squeeze last night. Trailed 8-3 after 4 against Fast Pitch U. Won 13-8 in extras. What will tonight bring? Here's Paris Woods. Starting us off against Jenna Green. In there for strike 1. Paris Woods, Jr. for the Qs in 2020 out of Boulder, Colorado. Transferred from Florida Southwestern State, where she was an NJCAA All-American. Missed a couple games because of a nagging injury, but she's back. 4 for 6 officially on the summer with an RBI and a 778 OBP. 1 for 1 against the Squeeze with a walk and a run scored the first time these two teams met. A 2-1 victory for the Pioneers, the only loss of the summer for the Squeeze. And that one is right up the middle and caught by Baker at second for out number 1. Baker soaring to make the play. 1 down. As Woods put a charge in it, but the defense helped out Jenna Green. Now here's Skylar Ball. Junior last year out of Southern Utah. Las Vegas, Nevada native. 1 for 1 with a double against the Squeeze last time these two teams met. On the summer, 231. 3 of 13. She's had a couple RBI. 2 for 5 this week. Upstairs on the rise, 1-1. Squeeze has mainly gotten off to slow starts. Outscored by opponents 15-8 in the first 4 innings, but in innings 5 through 8, they've outscored the opposition 22-3. And they're unbeaten here in this week. 1-0 win over the Lynx, 3-2 win over the River Mocs, 13-8 win over Fast Pitch U last night in extras. Pioneers 0-2 this week with a couple tight losses. Squeeze defensively very solid as well. 9.71 fielding percentage so far this summer. Something that I'm sure thrills the head coach Mario Hernandez, who's been very aggressive this season. 2-2 to ball in the dirt, full count. Nearing the 9:30 hour Eastern time. Game before us delayed by the lightning. Not much of the rain, but definitely by the lightning. That was a 7-6 win for the Rivermocks over the Lynx. Low, that's a walk. And ball is aboard with 1 out here in the top of the first. Here's Megan Piero. Piero, a sophomore last year for South Florida Bulls. .417 average this summer, but 0 for 3 this week. Has had a little bit of trouble putting it in play. And there for strike 1. .417 average so far with 4 RBI and a couple homers. .588 OBP, was 0 for 1 with a walk against the Squeeze last week. 0-2 quickly. Swing and a miss. Got her on the rise. 2 down. As Green climbs the ladder. That brings up the cleanup hitter, Taylor Gilmore. Broomfield, Colorado native. Redshirt sophomore last year for Colorado State. First pitch from Green. Another strike. Gilmore on the summer, .514, .357 average. Couple runs batted in, had a homer. That was last night against the Bradenton Lynx. Trying to keep the top of the first going. Foul back on another strike, yet again from Green. I think she's upset after the walk to Ball, who's dancing around over at first. Oh, 2 just missed. 1 and 2. Gilmore did not appear at the plate last time these two teams met. This week, 3 for 6 with that home run I mentioned. Swing and a miss, and Green has strikeout number 2, and the side is retired. Scoreless. Headed to the bottom of the first. Squeeze coming to the plate as the Pioneers strand a runner at first after the walk. Gray Robertson here for the nightcap of our doubleheader. Pioneers and Squeeze. I am not alone. Jim Delaney also here. And it's been craziness, but we are here, and hopefully we will finish at a reasonable hour.
I was going to add to that. Yeah, it's been a crazy night with actually not really any rain. Maybe it spit a little bit, but we had lightning delays big time. In that first game between the Lynx and the Rivermocks. Another nail biter there, of course. I mean, why not? It's the Rivermocks, so they're going to play it right down to the last strike. So Gray Robertson, myself, Jim Delaney. One thing I've noticed about these teams, I was looking down the lineups. You know, you look at on paper sometimes, and you look at the Squeeze, and you see a lot of Power 5. Tons of it. 3 Big Ten, USF, Louisville, a couple FAU, Washington. You look at Pioneers, and you get schools, the Ball Sisters, Southern Utah. 2 that go to Barry University, down in Miami, Division II school. You got Indiana Tech, Huntington. I like seeing the wide range of schools represented in this, not only in this game but in the league. And it seems like the Pioneers under Erica Beach, she's got on paper a little bit different type of talent level, but any of the kids that I've talked to this week, especially one, Danny Bauer, that pitched for the Lynx in the last game, you know, she goes to University of Charleston up in West Virginia, D2 school, and just asked her, and all of them have said it, it's softball. They just want to play. They don't get hung up on that stuff, but I know a lot of the general public will look at schools and look at it and be like, well, you know, maybe this team's not as good, but the quality of play out here has been fantastic so far. 8 days into it?
And we will, I'm sure, see the same amount of quality here in this game as Erica Beach went with the classic one flex DP switch. Taylor Gilmore, your starting pitcher for the Pioneers, which means Kayla Howald will just be in the lineup. If they need her to come in relief, she'll be the number 2 option. Gilmore, again, we mentioned in the top of the first out of Broomfield, Colorado, an ERA of 0 so far this summer. In only 6 innings, she's 1-1. Facing off against Stormy Kotzelnick. Right to second off the glove of Megan Piero out to right. That'll be a base hit for Stormy Kotzelnick to get things going here in the bottom of the first. Order for the squeeze. Kotzelnick over at first. Taylor Johnson batting second. She's approaching the plate now. Nikki Cuckren, big night for her. She bats third. I should say big night for her last night. She had the tying 2-run homer in the top of the 7th to even things up at 8 against Fast Pitch U. Kenna Wilkie batting 4th. Alexis Johns batting 5th. Jordan Wolf 6th. Jordan Cadleb 7th. Summer Baker 8. Megan Ricks 9. Sarah Berfume 10. And there for strike 1 to Johnson. Junior last year for Wisconsin out of Beecher, Illinois. 9 for 18 so far this summer. Perfect 500 average. She's driven in 8 runs. She's hit 4 homers. 0 for 3, though, against the Pioneers last time these two teams met. And Johnson 6 for 9 this week with 5 runs batted in. Facing Gilmore, who did throw 3 innings against the squeeze last time these two teams met. Gave up 2 hits, a run, it was unearned. Walked 1, struck out 4. And that pitch goes way into the dirt, bowling style. Kotzelnick head for second as Gilmore tries to get a little bit of control. Rise ball pitcher, she's got drop as well. Her best pitch, though, when it's on is the changeup. It might be the best pitch here. See if she goes to it against Taylor Johnson. Off speed, over to second. Piero firing for out number 1. Defense for the Pioneers. Skylar Ball out in the left. Paris Woods out in center. Grace Prom in right. Kennedy Curl at third. Kayla Poston at short. Megan Piero at second. Jordan Petty at first. And Olivia Doyle behind the plate, catching Gilmore. First pitch in to Nikki Cuckren is a ball. Cuckren, sophomore for Northwestern. 7 for 17 this summer with 6 RBI and 3 homers. 2 of them were last night against Fast Pitch U. She was 1 for 3 with a double against the Pioneers last Thursday. Rise high, 2-0. Cuckren out of Downers Grove, Illinois. 3 for 8 this week. That one is crushed out to center. Way back, Nikki Cuckren. Her last 3 at-bats have been long balls. And she strikes here in the bottom of the first to give the squeeze a 2-0 lead. My goodness, Nikki Cuckren just can't quit.
Part of the Big Ten 3 that you've been calling between Johnson, her, and Wilkie. That was an absolute bomb that went right over 2 or 3 palm trees in center field here at Lakewood Ranch.
For Cuckren, that's RBI number 8 this summer and home run number 4. And again, her last 3 at-bats in the last 2 games combined, 3 home runs. Kenna Wilkie, first pitch outside. Wilkie, the junior out of Northwestern, Braidwood, Illinois native, 2018 Big Ten All-Freshman team member. At the plate hitting .400 this summer. Just one run batted in, I should say. That was on a solo home run last night against Fast Pitch U. Was 1 for 2 against the Pioneers last week. One out, bottom of the first, 2-0 squeeze. That one gets way away, 2-0 to Kenna Wilkie. as Gilmore trying to find it. First earned runs allowed by Taylor Gilmore this summer. Did she go? No, she did not. 3-0. Too high, 4-pitch walk. And Wilkie's aboard. Two of the lower scoring teams before last night's 13-run output. The Squeeze was averaging just over 3.5 runs a game. Pioneers enter the night with just 20 runs scored all season. And Jenna Green in the circle. It'll be a tall task for the Pioneers offense to try and fight back against a pitcher of that caliber.
Yeah, 2 runs. Like we had said the other night, 2 runs sometimes feels like 8 against Jenna Green. So timely timeout here by Coach Erica Beach. Looks like Gilmore was struggling a little bit. Break up the momentum, get him back started, and see how she can recover here. We got 1 out. After a bomb for the Squeeze, they're up 2. Again, Stream Live Tampa here. Jim Delaney, Gray Robertson with us for the summer, for the FGCL Summer Collegiate Softball League down here in the Bradenton area. Tonight we're at Lakewood Ranch. Mayor Lakewood Ranch High School will be here for Friday nights and Saturday day games. And then we'll go back to Palmasola on Monday.
Squeeze only with 1 game tomorrow. That'll be against the Slice. Now they're focused on the Pioneers. Here's Alexis Johns. In for strike 1 to Johns. John sophomore last year for FIU out of Sarasota. 2019 Conference USA All-Freshman team member. .313 average this summer. But 1 for 7 this week. And that ball gets away after Doyle tried to get Wilkie heading back to first, and the aggressiveness defensively hurts the Pioneers. Wilkie now in scoring position. Too high, and Gilmore still struggling a bit with her control. Slow slap, and Gilmore with the scoop for out number 2. Yes, the other umpire was making a very strange motion I've never seen before, but that is out number 2. Wilkie advances to third, but an RBI chance for Jordan Wolf. 2-0 Squeeze, bottom of the first. Squeeze just had 1 against the Pioneers the entire game last time they met. Looking for more than the 2 they've already got here in the bottom of the first. Wolf out of Louisville, junior last year for the Cards. South Elgin, Illinois native. A lot of Illinois folks here on the Squeeze. 5 for 16 this summer. 2 for 3 against Pioneers last Thursday. That'll work. Down in left field. Here comes Wilkie, and Wolf has the RBI. Her 2nd of the week, her 3rd of the summer. It's 3-0 Squeeze.
Another good piece of hitting by Wolf there. Just letting it get deep and taking it to left.
Jordan Cadleb has had an incredibly hot week. Here she is at the plate. First pitch outside to the redshirt freshman last year for South Florida out of Wesley Chapel. Just hitting .357 this summer. I say just because she's 4 of 8 this week. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Way out in front of the off speed. 1 and 2. Cadlib was 0 for 2 with 2 Ks against the Pioneers last time they met. 3-0 squeeze. Bottom of the first. Jordan Cadlib looking to extend the inning. Right under Gilmore's glove, over to short. Poston in time for out number 3 to retire the side. But the squeeze able to get quite a bit. A 2-run homer from Nikki Cochran. Her 3rd home run and her last 3 at-bats here in the FGCL. And then an RBI single from Jordan Wolf. As we're through 1. Squeeze looking like one of the top teams in the league early here.
Yes, they are. I've seen the base umpire move that you're talking about, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
From the side, it's impossible to tell whether
it's
he's
great.
making
Hey, everybody's got their own style, even for the blue.
Just, yeah, go for it. Congratulations to you. Just makes us our job harder sometimes, but it is what it is.
So yeah, you're right. Yeah, Squeeze are really loaded lineup, but we'll see what the Pioneers can do here. A lot of teams in sports, not just softball or baseball, whatever, play like the personalities of their coaches. You hear that a lot. Erica Beach is, she's been around a long time, been around the game a long time. She's a lot of fun, and she's scrappy in the same way. So I can see her team playing a lot like her.
Well, this is really nothing new for the Pioneers. They were down 3-0 against the Lynx yesterday. They were down 4-0 until the 6th inning when they were able to scratch across 3 runs. Did fall 4-3, but they've made comebacks before. They've been in a lot of tight games. And now they will turn to the most interesting statistical study in FGCL history, Grace Prom. I'll tell you why in a second as we head to the top of the second with 5, 6, 7 due up. Jenna Green back in the circle for the squeeze. 3-0. Her team leads. Grace Prom, freshman last year for Santa Fe out of Lake Mary, Florida. First pitch, foul. Grace Prom is 1 for 6 this summer, 167. Seems okay. Her on-base percentage is .706. 5 walks, and I think she's been hit by 7 pitches, 6 pitches, something like that.
They're as good as hits. Name the games, get on base.
Grace Prom was 0 for 2 against the squeeze last week. 0 for 2 this week with 2 walks, 2 Ks, 2 runs scored, and probably a multitude of other ways she's found a way to reach base. 1-1 from Green. Rise too high, 2-1. Couple rise balls in a row from Green. Probably see her go somewhere lower in the zone here, perhaps with that change. 2-1 hits her. Instead, she just came too far inside, and, well, Grace Prom is aboard here to start off the top of the second. The anomaly continues.
It's amazing. It's funny. I was talking with a lot of our girls up in Hillsborough County high school girls with a game time softball organization. I quizzed them the 8 ways to get on base without getting a hit. So they were going over that this week. And she's obviously mastered the HBP.
Very good at it as Mackenzie Ball swings and misses at strike 1. Ball, a junior out of Southern Utah, Las Vegas, Nevada native, just like her sister Skylar. 3 for 11 this summer, 273 average. But another player with a high OBP. Pioneers really up there in the league in that number. Hers is 429. That one fouled back. And Mackenzie Ball played a huge factor in the 2-1 victory for the Pioneers over the squeeze last Thursday. Why? Because it was her 2 RBI double that made the Pioneers have a 2-0 lead that stood up. She's behind 0-2 right here, though. Too low, 1-2.
Interesting about the Ball sisters, Mackenzie and Skylar, they had talked to us about getting into sports broadcasting. So we're going to try to have them intern with us on their off days, maybe do some interviews and get some experience before they head back to Southern Utah.
In on the hands, popped up, and nobody came to get it. Now Green makes the catch. My goodness. She
That was an adventure.
Saying, oh, no one's here. I'll make the catch. One down. As the antics have really come out here early as we near the 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time hour. Here is Jordan Petty, sophomore from Barry. Didn't play last night. I beg your pardon, here's Caleb Poston. Petty's on deck. Too high to Poston. Also out of Barry, though, so it still works. Freshman last year from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. 308 so far this summer with 3 runs batted in, 1 for 6 this week. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. And this time against the squeeze. In there for strike 1. Poston kicks some dirt out. Green has the sign, the 1-1. In there for strike 2. Popped foul. Prom over at first after the hit by pitch, her 7,000th this summer. That's a guesstimation. Poston at the plate. Pioneers looking to chip away at the 3-0 squeeze lead. That won't help. That's a strikeout, third of the night for Jenna Green. Got her on the rise, 2 down. And now here's Jordan Petty. Didn't play last night. Had a little issue with her shin after she was hit by a pitch earlier in the week, but she's back. Sophomore out of Barry, Palmetto, Florida native. Nicknamed Hulk by her head coach, Erica Beach, because she turns green when she's hit by a pitch, and I've seen it. It's real. Petty 1 for 8. This summer 0 for 1 with a walk against the squeeze a week ago. 1 for 2 in week 2. Got a piece of their eyes, found it back, 1-1. Erica Beach is the head coach for the Pioneers over in the third base coaching box. Former Arizona State pitcher from 99 to 2002, where she helped lead the Sun Devils to a couple trips to OKC for the Women's College World Series. 1999 first-team All-American. Hopped into the Arizona State Hall of Fame back in 2012. Off speed outside, 2-1. Her assistant over by Grace Prom is Carly Milburn, who played some softball at Tarleton State. They've been a lot of fun to get to know since we got here in Florida. Well, she's looking for some hits from her offense right now. Just got a piece. 2-2.
And little man didn't realize how.
Head on a swivel. Or sometimes
he just kept looking straight. He was on his scooter, just kept looking straight.
Blissfully unaware can be the best way to live life sometimes.
That's right.
2-2 to Petty. Too high. Tried to climb a ladder. Petty wouldn't join her. Up in the zone, full count. 3-0 squeeze. We're in the top of the second. Fouled back. Petty fighting him off like the Hulk right now. Squeeze 5-1. Pioneers 2-4. Another payoff coming up to Petty. Off speed, got her. 4th strikeout of the night for Jenna Green, and that retires the side. Prom left stranded at first after the hit by pitch. Squeeze will look for more. 3-0, headed to the bottom of the second.
I want to thank those watching, at least on Facebook right now. I know some former coaching colleagues of mine, Dave Carney, Tommy Medlin, Stephanie Lepresti. Thank you. Her daughter Kai is a catcher at Florida State.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And she's one of our volunteer coaches this summer for our Game Time softball organization. She's doing a great job. Martha Bunn is watching. Nancy Soto. Yasiel Nunez. A lot of friends at Stream Live Tampa. Great to see some familiar names, but I think that's it for now. So everybody, thanks for watching. Any comments? We see some nice comments about people as we battled through some little adversity in that first game with a little signal issue with the impending storm.
A little. People were running for their lives, and we were here trying to.
It was going right around us, and then it started building and coming back. But we're back at it tonight. It is, like you said, Gray, approaching 10 o'clock Eastern time, and we're in bottom of the second inning, 3-0 squeeze as they take on the Pioneers.
In about 12 hours, we will be going live for our Saturday first game. 8, 9, 10 due up here in the bottom of the second. Just to put in perspective how interesting the next 24 hours are going to be. Summer Baker takes the first pitch strike, and I should note that that 10 a.m. game, we won't be covering it, but the Pioneers are in that slate against the Slice. So win or lose, they're hoping this goes quickly so they can get some extra hours of sleep. Upstairs to Summer Baker, freshman last year for Florida Atlantic out of Haines City. 1 for 12 so far this season. 1 for 7 this week, was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against the Pioneers on opening night. Fouled off, 1-2. Taylor Gilmore in the circle, gave up 3 hits and 3 runs, all of them earned in the first. Her first earned runs allowed so far this season. Baker waits on the 1-2. Gets a hold of it. Nice snag by Kennedy Kroll at third. Long throw to first is in time for out number 1.
Great beginning to that play. Great play down at third in the hot corner, diving on the foul line and throwing it out. And a great ending to it with the slow pump out by the base umpire. This is fantastic.
I want it to be a GIF. But who knows? We have a long time before this league is over as Megan Rick steps in. Incoming freshman going FGCU. First pitch out to left for a base hit. Really put a charge in that pitch low in the zone, and she's aboard with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And for Megan Ricks, the dugout's going crazy because that's her first hit of the summer season so far.
Yeah, good for her.
She's aboard, and now a chance for Sarah Perfume. Perfume had the leadoff double to get things going in the top of the 7th last night against Fast Pitch U. First pitch in the dirt, Ricks thought about going, but Doyle delivered a nice throw to second and sent her back to first. Perfume, another Florida Atlantic freshman, Coconut Creek, Florida native, 3 for 14 this summer, 2 for 8 this week, including that absolutely critical double against FPU last night. Yeah, she went too far there for sure. 1-1. Might have been a strike anyway. Squeeze up 3-0. Low, 2-1 to Perfume. Upstairs. 3-1 now. Perfume has not drawn a walk so far this summer. Squeeze as a team really hasn't taken that many free bases in terms of drawing 4 balls. But there's one for Perfume, 2 on, and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And that turns things over to the oh-so-dangerous top of the order.
You couldn't have said it any nicer. 2 runners on, down 3. And Stormy leading off, or back at the top of the order for the squeeze. Let's see if Gilmore can get out of it.
Kotzelnick was first pitch swinging back in the first. Singled and scored. Incoming freshman going to play for Washington out of Carmel, Indiana. Low for ball 1. And now with the hit from earlier, I don't have the calculator out, but she's 12 for 22 this summer. 5 for 12 this week, and was 2 for 3 with an RBI and a double against the Pioneers on opening night. In there for strike 1. Gilmore now looking to dig deep. Really the first time we've seen her in the circle and seen a couple of her pitches get knocked around. Doesn't give up a lot of hits. Already giving up her first earned runs of the summer. Change fooled Kotzelnick, 1-2. Smile on Stormy's face as she takes a walk. Kotzelnick back in the box. The 1-2 from Gilmore. Hit foul. Kotzelnick appeared to be slapping with that swing right there. First time we've seen her do that this summer.
I think that was more of a protective swing and keep the count alive.
And we've seen her do basically everything. Wouldn't shock me if she just slapped something down the left side. She had the 3-run bomb in the 8th to make it 11-8 last night, and that one's right up the middle. Out to the left center gap. Here comes Ricks. Here comes Perfume. She'll score. Kotzelnick, a 2 RBI double to make it 5-0 squeeze. Stormy Kotzelnick continues to dominate at the plate. 2 for 2 tonight, and the squeeze now up 5 runs. And that'll do it.
We got a pitching change.
Taylor Gilmore will give way after going just an inning and a third, and now we're back to what I had initially. It's Kayla Howald coming in to pitch. So Gilmore back to DP. Howald now the 1 in flex. Freshman last year for Campbell out of Bradenton. Got the victory against the squeeze last time these two teams played. Went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, but no runs, no walks, struck out 3. Impressive summer for her so far. 2.84 ERA, 12 1/3, 18 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, and 14 strikeouts. 1-0 record so far. She's got a rise on multiple planes, very similar to Green in that regard. A rise that can really climb a ladder. Good pace, lots of spin, curve on both sides. She can mix speeds a touch, but that's not totally what she's looking for. And now she comes in with her team trailing at 5-0. And a runner at second with only 1 down here in the bottom of the second.
I want to say thank you from Stream Live Tampa to Thomas Green and Tanya Weeks who are watching. They are watching, looks like, squeeze players. They look to be relatives to squeeze players as we get back to action here in the bottom of the second.
Johnson 0 for 1. First pitch. Ooh, wow. Big swing and a miss from Johnson. Kotzelnick is at second. Nikki Cochran's on deck, so if I'm Kayla Howald, I'm trying to keep Johnson off the base paths. Low for ball 1. See what Mario Hernandez does if there's a base hit. So far he is, quote, not given a rip and sent runners. Volunteer assistant at Jacksonville after coaching baseball. Played baseball in college. He's been aggressive, as has his assistant coach Carson Gordon over in the first base coaching box. Former Seminole of Florida State won the national championship with Lonnie Alameda in 2018. Part of that incredible Women's College World Series run.
They had what, 5 or 6, maybe 7 elimination games they had to get through that whole postseason. Something like that, right?
I know they opened, as that one's
Oh,
right back
Brett
to Howald, over to first for out number 2. I know they opened Supers with a loss to LSU, 1-2 in a row. Opened the World Series with a loss to UCLA. And then fought their way through the losers bracket, including beating the Bruins twice in a game where Carson Gordon hit a 3-run homer to beat UCLA 12-6 in advance of a champ series, and then swept Washington. So it's quite a run. It's not really anything we've ever seen before.
No.
First pitch high to Nikki Cochran. She hit a 2-run homer in the first. Last night she hit a 2-run homer in the 7th and a 2-run homer in the 8th. 4th straight inning, combining 2 games where she's come to the plate. She's hit 3 home runs the previous 3 times. And now she's ahead 2-0. Kotzelnick is over at third. Time called. Conversation in the circle between Doyle and Howald. Cochran looking for it again. See if she gets one to drive. The 2-0. In there for a strike. Nice pitch by Howald on the inner half. 2-1. Outside, 3-1.
And for those of you that are trying to watch, we're audio only right now. We've just got a little bit of technical difficulty. They're working on it as we speak. But Gray and myself, audio only for the time being.
3-1 to Cochran. Big swing and a miss. Full count. Kotzelnick 60 feet away. 2 down. Bottom of the second. The payoff. Big swing and a miss for strike number 3, and that does it. Howald coming on in relief and getting the 2 necessary outs, but not before Stormy Kotzelnick adds a couple of runs. A 2 RBI double. It's 5-0 squeeze through 2 late into the night here at Lakewood Ranch. 9-10-1, due up as we head to the top of the third. It is 5-0 squeeze. Jenna Green doing work in the circle so far. She has struck out 4. She's walked 1. And opening up with Kennedy Krull, third baseman. Junior from Huntington, out of Claypool, Indiana. Another player looking for a hit so far this summer, 0 for 6. Third inning has been a very, very strange one for the Squeeze. Again, they've only allowed 18 runs all summer, but they've been outscored 7-0 in this frame. Starting off with Krull. Swing and a miss. And that one hits her. Krull will head for first. As Green gets a little wild, her second hit by pitch of the night. And the leadoff is on. Trying to turn it over is Olivia Doyle in the 10 spot. Sophomore in 2020 from Indiana Tech, Elgin, Illinois native. 1 so far this summer. And if you're the Pioneers, leadoff runner on, you've got to find a way to scratch something across here in the top of the third, down 5-0. Cannot waste a chance, especially with the top of the order right behind Doyle here. Lays down a bunt, foul. 0-1. Doyle steps back in. Frankly, if I were the Pioneers, I'd call off the bunt sign. Even though it's early, don't want to give away outs. They'll still lay down the sacrifice. Throw into second is Johnson for the out. Nicely done by Taylor Johnson behind the dish. And there you go. Fielder's choice erases Krull. Doyle stands at first. Back to the top of the order in Paris Woods. Hardest hit ball of the night for the Pioneers came off the bat of Woods in the first. Lined out to Summer Baker, made a diving catch. Watch out. Right off the tent. 0-1. Woods out of the cues. At the plate with 1 out. Up top, hammered out to right, drifting over and making the catch is Wolf, who is shaded perfectly for out number 2. Was. Two gone. Here's Skylar Ball. She walked in the first. Pioneers have had a base runner on every inning so far. And that base runner hasn't moved off first. Outside for ball 1. Pop back. Way up. Potentially trouble, but then not so, as Johns found it in the air and made the catch for out number 3. Another Runner stranded over at first, another runner left on base, and another scoreless inning. Headed to the bottom of the third. Squeeze up 5-0. Jenna Green working a gem so far in the circle.
Yeah, like you said, Greg, Pioneers just wasting an opportunity getting the leadoff runner on. I don't even think she advanced a second. And still playing from behind, down 5. With the Squeeze powerhouse lineup coming up, like always. So 5-0 Squeeze as you're on Stream Live Tampa here. This is game 2. A little bit later than anticipated, but there was a lightning delay in the first game between the River Mocs and the Lynx. And tonight's game started later than anticipated, much later, between the Squeeze and the Pioneers. And they actually got the game started pretty quickly once the preceding teams got off the field. They did a little infield, quick little warm-ups, and boom, they were ready to play. So we'll be here for the remaining of this one. Again, we're in the bottom of the third, 5-0 Squeeze, and then we've got 3 games on tap tomorrow, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2 p.m. We'll be on the adjacent field, which is considered the home field here for Lakewood Ranch High School, down here at Lakewood Ranch, Florida. So 5-0 Squeeze, and I'll send it back to Gray.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, it's been quite the showcase for the Squeeze offense so far, and it's 4-5-6 due up against the second pitcher of the day for the Pioneers. That's Kayla Howald. Wilkie Johns Wolf. As the Squeeze looks to add some more here in the bottom of the third. Squeeze 5-1. A win puts them right back in the driver's seat of the FGCL. Pioneers have had some just really unfortunate luck since the season began. They're 2-4. They've lost a bunch of close games. Trying to get back where they want to be. A win would move them into 5th in the standings after the Impact fell to Fast Pitch U, which I don't think we've announced on this broadcast. Yes, Fast Pitch U beat the Impact 6-5. First win of the summer for FPU. Here's Kenna Wilkie. Walked and scored in the first. Far inside for ball 1. Again, the third inning has been a very strange enigma for the Manatee Squeeze. Outscored by opponents 7-0 in this frame. Only inning where they haven't scored so far this summer. In on the hands. This will be a little bit of a tough play for Piero. Throw to first is away from Petty, as I think the umpire was ready to call her out anyway, but the ball got away on what should be an E4, and Wilkie's aboard.
Yeah, it's one of those, you were talking in the previous game about fielding the short hops, the different types of hops, backhands, forehands, one's right at you. She let that one fall, and it squirted off to the side on her and made it difficult to make the play.
It didn't have enough time to run under it. Did Piero as John steps in, fouls off the first pitch on the slab. She ground out in the first. Alexis Johns out of FIU. A lot of players with a lot of college experience in this lineup, which is what's made them so successful early on. Shows bunt. Low, 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Three runs in the first for the Squeeze, 2 in the second. What will they do in the third with Wilkie on after the error? Still nobody out. Bunt foul, 2-2. This will be a tough play for Piero. She's got it. Flip to first is too high. Another error. Everybody advances 60 feet. And now Wilkie stands at third. Johns is at second. Still nobody out. Piero saw it coming on some weird hops. Tried to glove it and then flip it with the glove to Petty, who might be nicknamed Hulk, but she's not 9 feet tall and couldn't make the play. Now 2 in scoring position with nobody out for Jordan Wolf, who already has an RBI tonight. RBI single in the first. Low. Pioneers enter the night with a .916 fielding percentage on the lower side of the league, and they've tried a lot of defensive combinations, but the one steady factor has been Megan Piero out of USF over at second, and she's made a couple of mistakes tonight. Wolf fouls it off hard, 1-1. Just on top of it, 1-2.
I want to thank Michelle Hunter. She's watching Jenna play tonight. Kathy Baker, thanks for your patience. I know we lost our video feed, and you let us know when we got it fixed. So I appreciate that. That's Summer's mom. She communicated with us the other day, so appreciate everybody watching.
Swing and a miss as Wolf is sat down. Nice pitch by Howald. Rise up in the zone, 1 away. 1 Jordan for another. Spelled the same way, too, with a Y there. Here's Jordan Cadleb. Cadleb is 0 for 1. Ground out in the first. She's up with 2 in scoring position. Chance for some runs batted in. Fouled into the screen. Took an odd hop, 0-1. Chose bunt. That comes in. 0-2. Cadleb had her dog Mags, or Squeezy Mags, as she's become affectionately known, all around during the lightning delay, the unofficial mascot for the Manatee Squeeze. Whoa, hard foul. Distance, not direction. 0-2. And on the hands, this could fall at will, but foul. Cadleb continues to fight him off. Up in the zone, got her swinging. Another strikeout for Howald, her third in relief, 2 down. And now Summer Baker. Oh for 1 tonight, yet to record an RBI this summer. First pitch. Fouled straight back, 0-1. Rise got her chasing. 0-2. If I'm Howald, I go right back to it. The 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Over at third is Wilkie. She reached on an error. Johns is at second. She reached on an error. Got her on the rise. And after 2 players reached on errors, 3 players struck out. Kayla Howald has 4 Ks in relief. And we're through 3. 5-0 squeeze. Jenna Green coming back out as we head to the top of the 4th.
I want to thank Steve Ricks for his patience while our video was down a little bit. He's been watching, and friend Shelly Thompson is watching tonight. So we're getting a lot of friends and family watching from around the country, the players, the coaches, here, the staff here at Stream Live Tampa. We've had quite a few people watching, so it's been another interesting game with the squeeze up quickly 5-0. You know, they're one of the powerhouse teams here, but the Pioneers are staying in it a little bit. There was a swing of the bat there. It almost became that proverbial 8-run deficit with that swing, but it was a little foul.
Yeah, we have seen the squeeze use their offense last night. They were down 8-3. They were down 8-4, headed to the top of the 7th, and got a 2 RBI single from Taylor Johnson, then a 2-run homer from Nikki Cochran to tie it at 8. And the top of the 8th exploded with power from Kotzelnick and Cochran again. And the Pioneers, this is not their game. They are not good at shootouts. Again, just a team that barely averages over 3 runs per game. So they're going to need their offense to come through and find some base runners against Jenna Green. They've had a base runner every inning, but have not been able to move her past first. Here's Megan Piero. Probably wants to atone for the errors in the previous inning. Number strike 1. Piero struck out on 3 pitches in the first. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Held off on the rise. 1-2. Oh my goodness. Missed somewhere. 2-2. Excellent spot by Green. Just didn't get the call on the outer edge. Honestly impressed Pierre didn't offer at it. 2-2. Held off there. Full count.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It was a tough pitch to lay off of.
Wanted to chase the rise. The previous pitch. Pioneers dugout getting pretty loud here in the top of the 4th. Payoff. Right in there for a called strike 3. And Green has K number 5. Here in this game, her first looking, 1 down in the top of the 4th. Another strikeout victim at the plate now, Taylor Gilmore. Starting pitcher, now in the DP role. Strike 1. Jenna Green out of Presbyterian. D1 softball. did a test with metrics on all the pitchers in the country. It's very scientific. You can read the article put together by the staff there, including our friend Tara Henry. And of all the pitchers in America, that includes Megan Faramo at UCLA. That includes Miranda Ellish at Texas, Montana Fouts at Alabama. Jenna Green was 5th on that list. Right in there for strike 2. Tara Henry was here for the game against the Rivermocks, said she was beyond impressed by Green. Presbyterian sneaks into the NCAA tournament next year. This is a dangerous team with Green pitching. That's another K. 2 down.
That'd be something to watch for in the 2021 season.
I do not want to be the number 1 seed with Presbyterian in that regional.
No.
2 down. Strikeout number 6 for Green. Here is Grace Prom. No official at bat because she was hit by a pitch again in the second. 706 OBP entering the game despite a 167 batting average. First part I'm sure will be above 800 by the time the night is over. The 1-0. Little high, 2-0. Strike 1. There's that nice pitch. Really just straight fastball. Might be a little screwed to it. But it flattens out after she throws so many rise balls. So tough to identify for a hitter. 2-2. Full count. Swing and a miss. Jenna Green strikes out the side. Number 7 on the night. And the squeeze continues to motor right along. 5-0, headed to the bottom of the 4th. Offense will try and add some more runs, try and get into run rule territory if they can, up 5-0. And my goodness, Jenna Green is very good. Very good.
She's a lot of fun to watch. Doesn't matter what count, what situation, what inning, what the score is. She's the same. She's and she just keeps battling out there. I know you were mentioning Tara Henry. It was nice to see her out here earlier today. I think she was heading back to California soon. But I know she got here this week.
She will be going to the USSSA Pride. Gotcha. And I think they're called the This Is Us Now softball team with all the Olympians. That'll be tomorrow night. I'm not sure when or where.
Gotcha.
But she'll be in town for that. I told her she should stick around.
She should.
And she said after Tuesday night's classic between the Squeeze and the Rivermocks, hey, I might just be here for the next month.
I know. It's exciting action. Hey, want to thank old friend of ours, or friend of mine, Carlos Miguel Diaz-Torres, who's actually watching from Puerto Rico.
Oh.
He's part of the Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy. So it's nice to see an old friend's name down and watching us live from Puerto Rico.
First pitch to Megan Ricks is fouled back. Ricks singled and scored in the second. That single, her first hit of the summer. Trying to see if they can get the magic number to put this in run rule territory. Up 5-0 already. Low 2-1. Rick's an incoming freshman going to play for Florida Gulf Coast. Solid softball program. They were on the cusp of an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament a couple seasons ago. Rick's out of Winter Haven, Florida. Two and two. That one is crushed. Megan Ricks, see you later. 2 for 2 tonight. Her first 2 hits of the summer. And it's 6-0 squeeze as the power just continues to show up and show out late at night. Ricks with the solo blast. We have seen some hitters tonight lay into some pitches, and Ricks got one that she knew she could drive the second she saw it from Kayla Howald. Absolutely destroyed by Ricks. First run batted in of the summer. First home run. First extra base hit. And now it's 6-0 squeeze with Sarah Perfume at the plate. She walked and scored in the second. Time called. Quick discussion between squeeze coach Mario Hernandez and Erica Beach over in the Pioneers dugout. Everything seems to be straightened out. Back to Perfume. First pitch slapped way foul. Watch out. Perfume has seen the ball really well. Again, she had the double to get things going in the top of the 7th. Last night against Fast Pitch U. Had a walk earlier tonight. Trying to put it in play once again. Almost got it there. Just foul 0-2.
Coach Mario Hernandez coaching third right now for the squeeze. He's practically in left field. And the ball went right by him.
It's been really interesting to watch him peruse around on the left side. He checks the lineup card often, thinking, when can I put in this person? Always thinking a couple steps ahead. Two Perfume does. The 0-2. Just missed on the outside, 1-2. The Perfume can get aboard. Top of the order is due up. That, of course, means Stormy Kotzelnick, who has been destructive tonight, to say the least. That one is up in the air. Out to right, drifting down. Long run for Prom, who makes the catch for out number 1. Looked for a second like there was no shot Grace Prom would get there in time, but on the run, kind of underhanded it a bit for the first out of the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, it looked like she came out of the night right there in the right field corner. She went a long ways to get that.
That does not change the danger of Stormy Kotzelnick at the plate. 2 for 2 tonight with a double and just 2 runs batted in. She's also scored once. That was in the first after a single. A little late on that one, 0-1. First time she's seen Kayla Howald, who came in right after Stormy, have a 2 RBI double in the second. Low, 1-1. 1 run already here in the 4th off a Megan Rick's solo home run. 6-0 squeeze. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Way up in the sky. And running in is Skylar Ball for out number 2. Now Taylor Johnson. Bit of a rarity to see her 0 for 2 tonight. A couple ground outs in the 1st and 2nd inning. Junior out of Wisconsin. Now just 6 for 11 here in week 2. Low for ball 1. Six nothing squeeze, bottom of the 4th. As we near 10:40 on the East Coast. Big swing, 1 and 2. One, 2 to Johnson, just got a piece of it. Found it back. She takes a bit of a walk. Nikki Cochran is on deck. She had the 2-run homer in the 1st. Did strike out against Howald in the 2nd. That one's crushed. Will it have enough? Off the glove of the center fielder, Woods. And Johnson will stop at second. No, she'll keep on going. She's heading for third. She'll slide in. And she's safe. Yeah, she's safe.
Safe.
Come on, man. Make it a little easier. Johnson over at third after the 2-out base hit. I'll give her a double, advancing on the throw, and she's 60 feet away with 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Everybody in stitches out here, including Nikki Cochran, who's stepping in now. One for 2. That one, a 2-run homer in the 1st. First pitch low for ball 1. Cochran would be the run rule run. Again, collegiate run rule states that it needs to be 8 runs or more, the margin, and the trailing team needs to bat in at least 5 innings. So if Cochran were to knock one over the fence, Squeeze would be 3 outs away from the victory. See if Cochran gets one to drive. The 2-0 from Howald. Oh, she liked it, but just missed. 2-1. Kennewill on deck. Taylor Johnson over at third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. It's 6-0 squeeze. Foul tipped into the glove, full count. Hit foul on the rise. Squeeze up 6-0. Third straight inning where they've had a runner at third. Pioneers trying to make sure it's the third straight time that runner wasn't able to come home. Full count to Nikki Cochran. Held off. That's a walk with 2 outs, runners on the corners. Doyle will have a chat with the entire infield.
This is a good time to thank those watching on YouTube. Kim Stewart is watching. She's cheering for the Squeeze. Tom Smart's cheering for the Squeeze from North Carolina. Creed and Crawl is cheering for the Pioneers. And we have another Squeeze fan. Just says Jack Bob 1097. So thanks everybody watching on YouTube. I've got Facebook in front of me on my phone. And our puppet master, Javier, had YouTube, so he handed me his phone. We'll check Twitter, too, to see who's been watching on there as well. But we appreciate everybody watching from around the country.
Tuning in for really impressive showcase from the Squeeze tonight. Kenna Wilkie, 0 for 1, reached on an error in the third after a first inning walk. Did score in the first. 6-0 Squeeze. Cochran at first, Johnson over at third. Under the rise and 0-2 now. Too high. Chase rise. I think Howald took a bit off of it. 1-2. Wilkie showing good fight. New softballs in. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Kenna Wilkie digging in. Just got a piece yet again. And now, Wilkie taking a second, talking with her head coach. As we drift into the 10:45 hour on the East Coast, nearing 11. That one is crushed, but it's foul. Distance, not direction. 1-2. And she knew she just missed it. If you're Howald, avoid that pitch. Here on the 1-2. Got her on the rise. We're out number 3. And Wilkie, disappointed, heads back to the dugout. But A run still up on the board for the Squeeze, despite 2 left on base yet again. 6-0. Headed to the top of the 5th. Jenna Green headed back out in the circle against the Pioneers.
Yeah, as we head to the 5th, the 6-0 Squeeze lead, like you had said, Steve Ricks, I'm assuming related to Megan somehow after that home run. So that was for Coach Greg F. That would be Coach Greg Feldman. His daughters had 2 daughters this year that pitched at University of Utah. They're from right up the road. Greg's a good friend of mine. Greg's going to come on and do a game.
Okay.
With us, probably with you, Greg, or Greg, for at least a few innings. But he's been wanting to come down. Great guy for the Florida Impact Travel Association down here. So he's helped many kids get to the college level and many different division levels. But his daughter, Mary Beth, is at Utah now. She just finished her freshman year, and her oldest daughter, Claire, just finished. She's not going to take the extra year coming back at Utah. And great guy. So, yeah, Steve, thanks for a shout out to Greg. I call him Yoda.
Oh, okay.
I've learned a lot of stuff from Yoda, Craig Feldman, over the years.
Sounds like Greg will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Greg will be a blast. So I wanted to give him a shout out.
And a new pitcher in the game for the Squeeze. It's Paige Schindler, replacing Jenna Green. Mario Hernandez is talking with Jenna Green. This is purely strategic. It's not because of what was going on. He needs her potentially tomorrow against the Slice, knowing that Shannon Sale will be pitching in that game. Green leaves after going 4 complete with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. And I will say it now because she's out of the game, no hits. And now here is Paige Schindler, junior last year for Louisville out of Borden, Indiana. So far this year, 6.75 ERA, 9 1/3, 11 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them earned, 7 walks, 5 Ks. Did face the Pioneers last Thursday, went 3 complete, just allowed 1 hit. Allowed 2 walks, struck out a couple. Heavy ball, just gets in there really quick. It's on you before you know it. Fastball, screwball, drop screw, rise ball. When she misses, it's a miss to her low right. So that'll be as we're facing Taylor Johnson on the low part of the left side. That's where she got in some trouble last night against Fast Pitch U, where she started but was lifted for Wilkie. It's 6-7-8 for the Pioneers. Mackenzie Ball is 0 for 1, popped out in the second to the catcher.
Yeah, speaking of Mackenzie, her father, Nathan just texted me. He says, what are you talking about 10:45? The sun just set out in Vegas at 7:45. So I appreciate that, Nathan.
Again, can we go? 2-0 to Mackenzie Ball now. Low. There it is. Little low, a little to Schindler's right, and Johnson is imploring Paige Schindler, hey, I've got you, I've got you. Schindler just trying to throw a strike. Gets one there, 3-1. Too high, that's a walk. And Mackenzie Ball is on. Here in the top of the 5th, leadoff runner aboard. And maybe the Pioneers can sniff some momentum as Mario Hernandez comes out to talk just with Paige Schindler, telling the rest of the team, hey, get out of here. Hernandez retreats as Kayla Poston steps in. She struck out in the second. Low, that gets away. And taking second is Mackenzie Ball on the wild pitch. And the miss was low into Schindler's right. Just not finishing as she brings the arm around. One 0 to Poston. That one is hit out to left, drifting back, and making the catch is Cadlib for out number 1. And here's Hulk, Jordan Petty. Struck out in the second. A nickname that Erica Beach gave her after one of the scrimmages. Too high on the first pitch for ball 1. Petty out of Palmetto, Florida. Schindler's got the sign. The 1-0. In there. Nice pitch. 1-1. Foul back. 1-2. Jordan Petty at the plate. One down here in the top of the 5th. It's 6-0. Manatees squeeze. Low. 2-2. Pioneers had a base runner on in the first 3 innings. Twice the leadoff got aboard, but she never left first. Mackenzie Ball over at second. First Pioneer to set foot in that territory tonight. Fouled off on the rise and on the hands. 2-2 it remains. That one's foul. Once again by Petty. Staying alive here in this at-bat. Another 2-2 upcoming to Jordan Petty. Whoa, watch out. All the way back. A little bit high. Count runs full and ball heads for third on the wild pitch. Payoff to Petty. That's a walk. Runners on the corners. Here at the top of the 5th. We have been told, Facebook said, you folks have been on here long enough. Said it was time. But the game's still available on the YouTube, on Stream Live Tampa, on the Twitter, at Stream Live Tampa. I'm sure it's being projected somewhere as well on the side of a building in downtown Tampa. Lots of ways to tune in. If you have a friend who's watching on Facebook, let them know. YouTube or the Twitter. Here's Kennedy Kroll. Too far inside. Kroll was hit by a pitch back in the third. Her only plate appearance so far. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Runners on the corners, both reached via the walk. Ball at third, Petty at first. Kroll pops it back, 1-1. Kroll hitless this summer. The 1-1. Gets away from Johnson, who stares down Mackenzie Ball and says, I dare you to try and come home. 2-1. Schindler has the sign. That one hit foul. Just out of reach. I will say Petty did take second on the ball that got away from Johnson. Johnson didn't really care about her. She had her eyes on Ball over at third the whole time. But now 2 in scoring position for the Pioneers here in the top of the 5th. 2-2 to Kennedy Kroll. Paige Schindler, first inning of work. Popped foul. Fouled off again. Kroll battling here nicely. 2-2.
Yes, she is. Yeah, she's hit a couple straight back, meaning she's just barely missing it.
Looking for one. Something to get the Pioneers on the board. Fouled off on what would have been ball 3. Top of the 5th, there's 1 down, 2 runners on. It's 6-0 squeeze. Conclusion to our Friday night. Hit foul. Kroll battling. Chopped it short. Throw to first in time for out number 2. As the clock strikes 11, Kroll grounds out with 2 still in a scoring position.
And the lights are still on. They usually go off around 11, but I think we got a little extension from what I heard earlier.
Yeah, I believe the time is 11:30 from what I heard.
I believe so, yeah.
Olivia Doyle trying to extend this 5th inning. 2 in scoring position. Doyle hit into a fielder's choice in the 3rd. She takes first pitch high and inside for ball 1. And when I say hit into a fielder's choice, I mean she laid down a bunt, and Johnson said, now I'll go ahead and get the lead runner. Fired to second to get Kroll. Doyle holds off on the rise, 2-0. Schindler showing pretty good pace here in the latter part of this 5th inning. But she's left him up in the zone. That was too far in, 3-0. And the Pioneers have Paris Woods on deck, who is 0 for 2 tonight, which makes her 4 for 8 this season. 3-0 to Doyle. Too far, bases loaded. Time called by Johnson. She needs to have a word with Schindler. Real chance for Paris Woods. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 5th. 6-0 squeeze.
It's a big spot right here. I mean, top of 5, getting later in the game, you got bases loaded, and you got a new pitcher. Schindler's struggling a little bit. Let's see if she can battle through it, but the Pioneers need to scratch across a couple here.
First one was low. I'll just outright say it. If the Pioneers want to have any chance to win this game, they've got to get something here in the top of the 5th. Not out of it if they don't, but it's a momentum killer. The 1-0. Rise high. Johnson just made a fantastic catch to keep it intermit. 2-0. Woods to Schindler. She throws to first in time for out number 3. I thought for sure Schindler was going to throw home, and actually thought, wait, what are you doing, when she looked over to first, but just beat out Paris Woods for out number 3, and the side is retired. Squeeze can walk it off. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, it's 6-0. Squeeze needs 2 runs to end this game against the Pioneers and get back to the top of the FGCL standings.
Yeah, Schindler battled a little bit. Make a great play there in the middle, and yeah, I think for a second she wasn't quite sure. Am I going to third? Should I go home? No, I'm just going to go standard play across the diamond to 1. But Coach Mario Hernandez, he went out and talked with her after the very first batter that she walked, or that got on base. I believe she walked. And she was the first one he spoke with when she came off, and just keep her calm.
Well, you could see the decision turning around in the mind of Paige Schindler. Mario Hernandez is going to, well, I'm not sure what he's doing, because he just took out a lineup card and addressed the home plate umpire, but Alexis Johns is due up, and she's standing right there. It's 5-6-7, Johns, Wolf, and Cadleb. Kayla Howald back in the circle. She came on in the bottom of the 2nd. Since then has only allowed 2 hits, 1 run. Has struck out 5. Really done a nice job in relief for Taylor Gilmore. He got roughed up a bit early on. John's 0 for 2. She reached on an error in the 3rd, ground out in the 1st. Away for ball 1. 6-0 squeeze. Again, 2 runs brings in the run rule. We've seen a decent number of them early on. Squeeze yet to run rule an opponent. Pioneers have not run ruled. They have been run ruled by the Slice 12-2 in 5 innings. Hard slap to Krull at 3rd. It's a fair ball. The throw is in time to get Johns, as that was a more pronounced out call, 1 away. Carson Gordon thought she beat it. Umpire disagreed. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th for Jordan Wolf. Or I beg your pardon. This is Abby Stewart pinch hitting. And that's why Coach Hernandez was chatting with the umpire. In for strike one. Stewart out of Clemson, freshman last year from Snow Camp, North Carolina. 4 for 16 this summer, but 3 for 7 this week. Including a couple hits as a pinch hitter. 1-1. Stewart against the Pioneers was 0 for 3 last Thursday. Getting a break behind the dish with Johnson catching for the squeeze. 2-1. Three and 1 to Stewart now. Chase their eyes high. Would have been ball 4, instead it's full count. A little bit inside as well, just getting defensive with the swing. That one off the knee of Howald, out to left. Base hit for Stewart, and Howald needs to take a walk. Might have been the right leg area. Howald nodding her head. Seems like she's okay. I think Howald will get some throws just to make sure everything's all right with that right leg. It is a hit for Abby Stewart. Now 4 for 8 this week. And the winning run is coming up to the plate in Jordan Cadleb. Howald said yeah after that throw, and Erica Beach will depart from the circle. Howald ready to go. Beach and Hernandez have a chat before the Pioneers head coach heads back to the dugout. There's Jordan Cadleb. 0 for 2 night for her. Ground out in the first, strikeout in the third. In there for strike one. Nice response by Howald. One and one. Change in for strike two. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. Stewart, the pinch hitter, over at first. Jordan Cadleb at the plate. 6-0 squeeze. Low, 2-2. Hard foul. Cadlib has seen her average improve this week. Has a homer, has driven in both of her ribbies on the summer over the last couple days. 2-2. Did a nice job getting a hold of the rise and fouling it off. Coach Hernandez, not a nice job trying to catch the foul ball.
Yeah, he backpedaled. Instead of turning his hips.
Expecting some better effort. Thumbs down from assistant coach Carson Gordon. Another 2-2 upcoming to Jordan Cadlib. Over on the left side, Kroll fires the second fielder's choice. Got her. 2 down. As Stewart is sat down. And now Summer Baker trying to keep the inning going. 0 for 2 night for her, but Coach Hernandez had something he wanted to tell Baker right before this at-bat. Perhaps some trickeration at the plate. Instead, hard cut, swing and a miss. On deck is Megan Ricks. If Baker can get aboard, Ricks has gone 2 for 2, including a homer in the fourth. That after entering the game 0 for 10. Ricks has been on fire tonight. That depends on what Summer Baker does right here against Kayla Howald, who's pitched so well in relief. Found back 1-2. Too low, 2-2. Unless they've adjusted things even more. We've only got 16 more minutes of lights here at Field 1. Two-two to Summer Baker. Right in there for a called strike 3. That's the end of the inning. I don't know. Okay, everyone's departing now. As the bottom of the fifth comes to a close, 6-0 squeeze. Another runner left on base for the squeeze, and now we head to the top of the sixth. It's been methodical, surgical even, for the Manatee squeeze tonight. Got a really fantastic start out of Jenna Green, who came in, didn't allow a base hit, gave up some base runners in 4 innings, but was lifted for Paige Schindler, who got out of a jam in the 5th. Offensively, more of the same. 3 runs in the first, including a home run from Nikki Cochran. 2 runs in the second. Another run in the 4th off a home run from Megan Ricks. So, again, surgical, methodical, constricting even almost from the squeeze. Pioneers have had some chances, but just haven't been able to cash in. And more could have happened as the squeeze have left. As I do quick math, 7 runners on base tonight. So they'll try and get things done quickly here in the top half of the 6th, so their bats can come up and win it. And again, unless they've extended things, you've only got 14 minutes of lights here at Lakewood Ranch High School to try and complete this game. It will be 2-3-4 for the Pioneers as we head to the top of the 6th. Against Paige Schindler, came in the previous inning. Surrendered 3 walks, but didn't give up anything costly. and she'll open against a pinch hitter, Neely Peterson. Freshman going to Santa Fe after a one-year stint at Colorado State. First pitch is high. 1-0. That one is destroyed. Peterson, tell it goodbye. The Pioneers are on the board. And that breaks up the combined no-hitter. 6-1 squeeze. Neely Peterson with her third hit of the summer, second RBI, and first long ball. And the Pioneers have a little bit of life here in the top of the sixth. Schindler just left that one a little bit too fat. But Mario Hernandez just looked at her and said, hey, it's just one. So what? Pioneers will look for a little bit more than just the one. Remember, it was as I confer with my notes, it was in the fifth where the Pioneers got 3 runs against the Lynx the other night. Trying to do some damage here in the sixth. Now trailing 6-1. 2-0 to Piero. That one caught by Schindler for out number 1.
Great job, Paige. Great job,
Now it is Taylor Gilmore. A couple of strikeouts. Both swinging, one in the first, one in the fourth. One down here in the top of the sixth. Little low, 1-0. And that one is destroyed. Again, a second solo shot for the Pioneers here in the sixth. It's 6-2 squeeze as Taylor Gilmore finally gets contact and goes yard. Pioneers not really known for the power, but finding some here in the sixth. Gilmore's second home run of the summer and third run batted in. And the lead is trimmed to 4. Carson Gordon coming in saying, hey, there might be a reason why Grace Prom is getting hit by all these balls, saying watch your feet, half joking with a smile on her face. Prom is 0 for 1, struck out in the fourth, was hit by a pitch in the second. In other news, the sky is blue. 6-2 squeeze, 1 out. Every top of the sixth. You've got to be kidding. That's the second time she's been pegged. Carson Gordon and the home plate umpire cannot believe it. This is really the least shocking thing that's happened tonight. Prom is aboard with the HBP as she and Coach Gordon share some words.
She's a magnet.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. Here's Mackenzie Ball. Walked in the fifth. Popped out in the second. 0 for 1 night for her. She's trying to bring the Pioneers even closer. as Schindler just cannot find the zone, has not thrown a legit strike here in this inning. The two that would be technically strikes were both hit over the fence. Way up in the sky. Ricks has an eye on it. Makes a catch for out number 2. Kotzelnick was saying, hey, Ricks, you've got it. Ricks had a long run, but either way, 2 down for Kayla Poston. 0 for 2. Strikeout in the second, fly out in the 5th. Prom over at first. In there for a strike from Schindler. If the timing is correct, we have 8 minutes of lights left. It's 11:22. Just missed on the inside, 1-1. Out to left, and running in. A step in foul territory is Cadleb for out number 3. But the Pioneers break up the combined no-hitter with a solo home run from the pinch hitter Peterson, and then a solo home run from Gilmore to make it 6-2. Squeeze, though. Still looking to try and walk it off. They'll need 4 runs to get there. We head to the bottom of the 6th. And it's 6-2 squeeze with Kayla Howald coming back in the circle.
4 runs or 7 minutes.
Whichever comes first.
Yeah, it was good to see the Pioneers at least battle back in that inning. They just, she got hit in the leg last inning. They haven't been able to capitalize on any type of rallies that they've had. They had that one inning that they left the bases full, but they hit 2 solo shots in that inning to claw a couple 2 across to get within 6-2.
And as effective as the offense has been for the squeeze, it's also a night of missed chances.
Correct.
They've left at least 1 runner on base every inning, and they've had 3 different occasions where a runner was standing at third when an inning concluded. Just missed some opportunities to get some more runs up on the board, perhaps send us home early before we went into a race with the lights. Megan Ricks did her part in the 4th. She had a solo homer, 2 for 2 on the night, also singled and scored in the 2nd. Kayla Howald back in the circle. What a night of relief for her. 3 hits allowed, 1 run it was earned. Way up in the sky. 0-1. Howald in relief. Like I said, scattering 3 hits. She's given up a run. She struck out 6 and walked 1. In there, 0-2. Ricks had her home run against Howald in the 4th. She got a hold of a pitch that was right in her wheelhouse and destroyed it. Try and do the same, but this one's drifting foul.
Foul ball.
Out of play. Closer and closer to 11:30 Eastern we go. Again, not 100% sure if the lights will go off then, but we'll know at 11:30. 1-2 to Ricks. Got under it, popped up. Howald going to make the play. She collects it for round number 1. If the lights don't go out, it's 8, 9, 10 due up for the Pioneers in the top of the 7th. Sarah Perfume is 0 for 1. Flew out in the 4th, walked and scored in the 2nd. Strike 1. Too low, 1-1. Konsolnik on deck. Perfume at the plate. Fouled it way over our heads, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 down. As we hit 11:28. 2 minutes away from finding out if the lights are going to go out on us. Who knows?
That's what I feel.
Stormy Konsolnik at the plate. 2 for 3 evening for her, including a 2 RBI double in the 2nd. Singled and scored in the 1st. That one is crushed out to left for a base hit. 3 for 4 night for Stormy. Here's Taylor Johnson. Hit a long double in the 4th, but was left stranded at 3rd. 1 for 3 night for the Wisconsin product. Konsolnik playing a dangerous game over at first. Went back to the bag. It is 11:30. The lights are not out, so looks like we're here. Oh, Lord, watch out. Kroll diving attempt as Johnson just launched the bat into the fencing.
Bat goes flying. She almost makes a great diving catch.
It's only a strike after all that. Johnson probably wishing the lights had gone out on that play.
I know.
Just when you think you've seen it all. Now 1-1. Konsolnik over at first, 2 down. Bottom of the 6th. Konsolnik's going. And slow to cover was Poston. Stormy's got the stolen base. She's in scoring position. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Taylor Johnson. Time called. way up. Remains 1-2. 6-2 squeeze. Been firmly in command pretty much all night after a dominant start from Jenna Green and the offense striking early. Howell's done a nice job in relief, though. That one ripped foul. Remains 1-2. Going way up in the air. Long run for Prom. Makes the catch for round number 3. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the 6th. As we head to the 7th, squeeze up 6-2. Pioneers need 4 to keep the game alive. Squeeze 3 outs away from reclaiming the spot at the top of the FGCL standings.
So the lights stayed on. We're a little after
Fine by me.
11:30.
I hope the lights stay on at Taco Bell once we're done with this. But
What's your choice?
my choice, well, I at every Mexican food restaurant I get the same thing: soft taco, beef and cheese only, all day, every day. And I just if it's Taco Casa in Tuscaloosa or Taco Bell, basically anywhere else, I load up on however many I think I need, so I won't be hungry before I go to bed.
There you go. The beef and cheese only.
Beef and cheese only, same thing since I was probably 5. I'm sure the listeners out there think I'm psychotic, but that's what's happening here. Don't mess with tradition. As we head to the top of the 7th, it's 8, 9, 10 for the Pioneers. They got some offense finally in the top of the 6th. Solo home run by Peterson, the pinch hitter. Solo home run by the cleanup hitter, Taylor Gilmore. And now Paige Schindler will try and shut it down. Starting off with Jordan Petty. Gentleman out beyond left field with his lights on. Darn kids.
First time in a ballpark?
Come on, man. Petty is 0 for 1. She struck out in the 2nd. She walked in the 5th, but was stranded at 2nd after the Pioneers left the bases loaded when Schindler first came in. First pitch, straight up, drifting towards center. Johns has the catch, 1 away.
And the Pioneers come back at first thing tomorrow. Is that correct? 10 a.m.?
That's true. The 10 a.m. first pitch against the Slice.
Slice.
Yes. Kroll. Just foul. That close to getting her first hit of the summer. Kroll tonight 0 for 1. Ground out in the 5th, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Outside, 1-1. In on the hands, drifting foul. Kotzelnick is there. 2 away. And down to their final out as the Pioneers with Olivia Doyle, a 10-hole hitter. First pitch in for a strike. Doyle walked in the 5th, grounded out into a fielder's choice in the 3rd. Nobody on, 2 outs. Squeeze up 6-2. Same spot as the first pitch, same result. Pioneers down to their final strike. Schindler has the sign. The 1-2. Fouled it off. Yeah, the Pioneers have got a pair tomorrow. 10 a.m. against the Slice. Noon Eastern against the Impact. Squeeze with 1 game. That's at 2 Eastern against the Slice. One, 2 low, 2-2. Hard foul. Doyle does not want to go quietly. Doyle, a sophomore last year for Indiana Tech out of Elgin. Illinois native. Now 1 for 10 this season. Looking to extend the game for the Pioneers. Fouled off yet again.
Something came off. It's right down the foul line. I don't know what that was.
Might be some tape, perhaps.
Yeah.
Appears no one has noticed, and we proceed. 2-2 to Doyle. Struck her out. And Schindler ends it. A really dominant night for the Squeeze. A 6-2 victory that honestly felt like much more. Squeeze advances to 6-1 on the summer, and the Pioneers drop to 2-5. Your updated standings after Friday action. Squeeze at the top, 6-1. Rivermox in second at 6-1. Lynx in third at 4-3. Slice in fourth at 3-3. Impact at 2-5 and fifth. Pioneers remain in sixth at 2-5. Again, another hard-fought game for them. And closing things out, Fast Pitch U 1-7 on the season, picking up their first win tonight against the Impact. Action tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Gosh, that's early. We've got Fast Pitch U and the Lynx. Then at noon Eastern, Impact and Pioneers, followed by Squeeze and Slice at 2 o'clock before we say goodbye to Week 2. Lots of fun today. Saw a lot of action. Rivermox beat the Lynx 7-6, and the Squeeze knocks off the Pioneers 6-2. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Stream Live Tampa. Thank you for staying up with us, or good evening. Hope you're enjoying your dinner to all those out on the West Coast. For Jim Delaney, for the entire crew, let's go to bed. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early